And just like that, he returns to his living room to not stream Phish recaps, but hopefully we'll see him soon. Um, the layover between tours, especially the New Year's Mexico into summer tour. I mean, that's a good 3 or 4 months of no FZ recaps. Maybe a few, Trey band shows here and there, but ultimately this is all we're getting for a while. And he ends strong the last 2 shows with the whiteboard. You gotta love that off the bat. Tonight, a little bit lax on the red marker action, but not a whole lot of marking to be had. Not one of those red marker shows. Starting off, calling the first 3 songs boring. Absolutely. Calls them like he sees them. Not going to try and hide the fact that a crowd control farmhouse opener is tolerated by many, desired by none. But given everything's right, it's props. But I would have liked to hear more about the Divided Sky fiasco with Trey calling out the crowd. It sounds like Trey tried and stand up, which I think FZ is pretty much just doing, kind of like the NBA guys. They're trying to do comedy. They're trying to give you the news, but I don't know. I'd like to hear him his comedic take on Trey's attempt at comedy, which if it involved making fun of people and went to Mexico, all for it. Could have been a great set, great stand-up set. Glazing over what I thought was a pretty solid Bowie. Not really giving it its due. Maybe he wasn't fond of it, but he did say that Everything's Right caused him to not throw his radio out the window. I guess he's listening to Sirius on his radio, and at some point was so turned off by the set, he was close to throwing his radio out the window completely, altogether. But came back strong with the second set. The best Type 2 moment of the entire recap for me, clearly the Olympic gold medal analogy. He took that out there. I'm not sure who got silver or bronze, but Fuego getting the gold. And again, anytime it's a catchphrase, it's a staple. It's what he's known for. But anytime he slips in a Fago, it's a recap we reckon with. Speaking of the trademarks, the catchphrases, Chomper, very much lacking the past few recaps, but still quality without it. It's kind of like this weekend. No Down with Disease, no Mike song. Still great shows. Still great recaps. Passing Through getting its due tonight. Apparently he dug that, and that's a song that I heard that in Charlotte this past year. Loved it. And the one thing that I would love more of from FZ is singing the actual melodies to certain songs, Passing Through being one of them. Just, a few bars of, well, just harmonizing on his own. I don't want to try to spoil it. One day he might take it up. But from there, giving Fee a nod. Also a huge Fee fan myself. I agree that did save the I don't know if it did save the encore. They did it with Funky Bitch, right? But either way, regardless of the show, he ends the 4 nights strong. I like to call the Victor pose, and that statuesque, just kind of looking back there at the whiteboard, like a god looking over his tallest mountain and kind of showing it off to people. Like, hey, you want to take a picture? Here I am. I'll stand next to it. That's kind of how I took that last few seconds of Until Summer Tour. Just him and that whiteboard behind him, just that picturesque. Might actually have that band doing oil painting. I know a guy. He does oil paintings. I might commission him to do a full-on FZ portrait. In the meantime, we got a few months, and we'll go from there. All right, comments. Dave Renwalt, how's it going? Yeah, the outfit. It's been a slow roll, slow review. Oh, you get recaps for the yeah. I get the Phish recaps or the FZ recaps. I get Phish updates. Saturday Night Live recaps. Actually, that's about it. No mention of Squirming Coil mid set. Squirming Coil mid set, indeed. It's always loved the Page sitting there by himself, but kind of fun to see Trey just sitting there hanging out watching him. Wasn't FZ incredibly negative on the KV stuff? I think so. He has been kind of negative about Kazvat. It's one of my friends the other day that Kazvat, I think, is one of my favorite albums. Maybe my favorite. I'm a fan of the weirdness, the synthy pop stuff, and the catchy, you know, Turtle in the Clouds. I think it's great. Anyways, I think we're good. Clocking under 6 minutes. Who knows when I'll see you next? Whenever FC. I did get a good comment. What was it? It was like FC has 2,000 views. This has 20 views. Seems about right. It does. And I don't know. I feel I made a good point. If you can think of me as 1/100th of the man that FZ is, just a fragment, just an atom of the full being that FZ is, then that's just a compliment. I don't even belong in his galaxy, in his I'm off in a black hole of fandom somewhere. But all right, Dave Renwalt, hope you're well. Shout out Eric Page. Thanks everyone for hanging out. If you hung out, if you enjoyed it, hopefully, who knows? All right, boom.